This fish resides in this pocket all year, every year for the past 4. It's a creek we fish 2 or 3 times in a season, and there are few specific fish due to limited habitat availability. It's a great look at how different fly selections and casts can lead to different results. The first trip this year, I decided that since there were 2 types of medium-sized stoneflies hatching, I'd cast a double dry fly setup of larger stonefly patterns at this nice brown trout. And even though the bigger bugs were out, the fly and line had to cross the sun and landed a little too hard. It led the fish by enough distance, but it didn't like the whole package of arrival and fly size. With one gentle twitch, that fish was put off and then took off soon after. It's a simple fact of fly fishing. Bigger flies on clear, calm water landing too close to a trout are always at risk of spooking it. On our second trip to the creek of the year, I was a little more selective. I learned from that mistake.
Tree shadow. He's about 2 feet off the bank right now.
There's this sort of shadow, if you will, from the tree. That's really what it is, from the dead tree overhanging.
Yeah.
And he is just tucked in behind that.
Yeah, in line with that log. Yeah.
I'm using like a size 14. Okay,
Yeah, that's...
the thing about golden eyes.
And home, you just see his tail come down.
I set myself up with a longer leader with a smaller fly. A size 14 elk hair caddis is always a safe bet to land gently.
See that? He ate and then flew to the left, by the way, just so you know. He's right on that shadow line, just downstream of that log, and that big piece of foam is over top of him right now. Dragonfly's over him, actually.
I didn't go as tight to the fish, and I let it come to my gently landing fly. I was a little lucky though. Had my cast gone further into the fish at the exact same time that it was feeding or returning home, it could have spooked at the disturbance even with that small caddis. By laying the cast just on the edge of its feeding window and using a small, non-intrusive fly, it was a perfect balance that attracted the fish, and it came 2 feet over to eat. When it comes to fly selection, barring huge bugs hatching and fish gorging on those, it's best to use small flies on calmer and clearer water.